Alright guys, so Lil Boosie, the rapper from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, has chimed in on the Leah Thomas transgender swimming debate slash conversation, right? It really shouldn't even be a debate. It's really not a debate. I think most reasonable people already know that this is not fair, that this shouldn't be allowed. However, it is framed as a debate because we have a portion of our society that has absolutely gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? They're totally fine with biological men competing against biological women in sports. They see nothing wrong with it because they're simply not living in reality, right? They're simply not living in reality, right? But there are a lot of people that are living in reality and that are speaking up about this because this issue has now come to the light in wake of the NCAA swimming championships for women, in which Leah Thomas dominated in the 500-yard event and took spots away from other women at that event as well too that were qualified and should have been there. Okay, so Boosie, right, who's a rapper, has chimed in on this, and I think this is interesting because Lil Boosie has been characterized as a homophobe, right, within the black community. He has said some things that a lot of people, really don't like, okay? However, there's also a large subset of black people that are very, very conservative about this stuff, right? And Boosie is one of them where they're just like, we ain't down with a whole lot of this stuff y'all trying to push on us, particularly trying to push on black men, right? So again, I find somebody like him speaking on this issue to be fascinating. And obviously, he's going to be uncut, right? He's going to be uncensored with his opinion. So I'm just letting you guys know there's going to be some language. But I think his opinion is valuable. And I think it probably aligns with where most of, I think, black people see this issue, to be quite honest with you. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I personally don't think that it's fair for
it's not
a trans
fair. In a minute,
for
5 years, 10 years,
male trans athlete to compete in women's sports because
in
men
women's
are just
sports,
born.
bro.
Yeah,
let them
agree.
women have their glory, man.
Facts. Facts. That's all we said. We're like, listen, let biological women have their own glory. Let them have their own thing, okay? But, there are people out there that are trying to take that away from them, right? Because they want to be inclusive. Inclusive to the point where we're going backwards in society. You're being exclusive, right? Because allowing men to compete in women's sports excludes women, right? That's what it does, right? The same way in which we have these woke people that want to be so inclusive about race that they actually became racist, right? What they're saying is that, hey, yeah, we want to be inclusive, but inclusive means being exclusive of whites, right? That's what it actually means. It's the same thing here.
Yeah.
We let that shit go down in 5, 10 years. They're going to have kids raising their children to be big, strong motherfuckers, then turn into women and take over the sport and get $1 million contracts.
Yeah, why not? You can get scholarships, right? You can potentially get $1 million contracts like what Boosie's talking about. You can get fame. You can be in the record books for the rest of your life. Why not? And you ain't even got to do that much. All you got to do is take some hormones for a year and you good. And then after you break all the records, right, you can go back to being what you were, right? Just come off the hormones and, there may be some lasting permanent effects, but who knows, right? For the most part, you'll probably be all right, okay? But I'm just saying, the incentive that's being created here that we're seeing from this Leah Thomas situation is not good. I'm afraid that this is emboldening individuals in the future to try this stuff because people haven't spoke out enough about it. People haven't said enough about it out of fear of being called a transphobe or a bigot or whatever.
Watch.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, women's sports really...
Because motherfuckers think money. Motherfuckers think money. Yeah, go get a motherfucker 7'5", and turn into a woman. And put him on the motherfucking NCAA team. And have him dunking like Shaq. Fuck y'all mean. It's this world. I ain't happy in it. I'm just in it.
No, I feel like, man, because, at the end of the day, women's sports in general, I feel, have always had an uphill battle compared to the male sports.
Women don't get paid like men.
Exactly.
Women don't go through the stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about the whole gender pay gap thing. I think that's probably what he's referencing there. But I think his point is that, hey, women have a whole lot of things that are unique to them that they have to go through and they have to deal with. Let's not make it worse, right? By, allowing men to compete against them and to outshine them in what they do, right? I think that's the point.
Woman pussy bleed. Like, bro. You know what women go through, man? Sit your ass down, man. Get the fuck out the pool, man. Get your ass out the pool, man.
Bruh, imagine a sign at the tournament. Get your ass out the pool, man. Get your ass out the pool, man. Imagine somebody hold up that sign, bruh. Oh my God.
Real shit. You cheating, bro. Get your ass out the pool. It's not acceptable in my mind. I don't know who gonna agree with me, but I'm gonna tell them, get your ass out the pool, man. This girl been training her whole life.
Facts. I'm gonna tell you, man. Hey, I don't envy swimmers, bro. I used to date a swimmer in high school, and she got up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock every single morning to go swim, and then had to go to school on top of that, right? And then swim later on in the evening as well too. Okay, swimmers, I'm telling you, they practice more than anybody. Okay, they go through a whole lot. Their regimens are strict, right? I have a whole lot of respect for the training regimen of swimmers, and that's what makes this even worse. Is that you have so many of these girls that have been training all their life, that have worked so hard, that put in so many of these hours, that have got up early in the morning, that have put in the work, and they can't even reap the results of their work because somebody came in that doesn't necessarily have to work as hard as them, that has this large genetic advantage, being able to compete against them, right? Again, that's the sad part about it. People say, oh, you guys don't really care about women's sports. You're just saying this because you're transphobic and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, listen, here's the thing. I care enough about women's sports that I don't want to see it being dominated by men, right? I care, that's the only thing that matters, right? I care enough that I don't want to see it be dominated by men. Now, that's not to say women's sports don't have their own set of issues, right? Particularly WNBA. Nobody watches that. I think that, some of these women's sports, they're struggling for a reason. But at the same time, I care enough that I don't want to see it be dominated by men. That's what matters.
You got girls been training since they were 4 years old. Their shoulders not made like yours.
Right.
Like, bro,
think about
bro, come on, bro.
Right. Think about this, right? Let's just say Kevin Durant put on a wig and decided to join the WNBA.
Come on, bro.
What would happen? What would happen?
Kevin Durant, bro, come on. It's cheating, bro. It is cheating, bro. They got girls been training their whole life to be good at women's sports. At women's sports.
Yeah.
Wait, I
agree with that. Right. I think Boosie is spot on there. Right. He said it in the most uncut, rawest way possible. Okay. It's just flat out cheating. Right. It's just flat out cheating. But yeah, with that being said, I've talked about this subject a lot. I don't think this is over. Right. I think that my fear is moving forward into the future, we're going to see a whole lot more of this. You're going to have a lot more people that are inspired to do this. Because, again, let's be real. The reaction to this Leah Thomas thing was relatively tame, right? It was relatively benign, okay? People only spoke out after the NCAA championship. But in my ideal world, it should have been canceled. It should have been boycotted. It should never happen in the first place, right? But the fact that they let it happen, and there was a little bit of backlash, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Yeah, I think that that's a W for the people that want this to happen, right? That are okay with this. I really do. And that's the sad part about it. And, what's also crazy is how, the men are the ones that expect to be the ones to step up and say something about it, right? Which I 100% understand. I get it. But, listen, the only people that can actually fix this are the women that are competing, right? And I will continue to make that argument. If the women that compete aren't the ones that are speaking out, putting their face behind it, putting their name behind it, there's only so much we can do, right? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to suffer through this. So at the end of the day, here's to hoping that more women speak out about this. I know that some of them are. I'm just saying in general, moving forward in the future, I would like to see more action being taken to prevent this from happening from the people that are actually being the most affected by it. in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.